G'day folks, here's my September collection update, part 1, Death Metal. G'day folks, welcome back to the channel. This is my part 1 of my September collection update. I may have bought a few too many things last month, so I've decided to split it up into 2 parts so you don't have to watch like an hour and 20 long video. So first half, Death Metal. Who would have guessed I like Death Metal? And second half's just everything else, so I'll get around to that shortly. I will just give you a slight warning that some of the later ones have not the most pleasant album covers, I've got to say, a bit gross, so just consider yourselves warned. But anyway, let's get into it. Alright, first up we have Transgressor with Beyond Oblivion. This is a Japanese death metal band, been around since 1989, but they've had a lot of breaks over the years. They play just sludgy, slimy sort of death doom. They sound not too dissimilar to the drummer and vocalist Takeshi's other band, Anatomia. So if you know what they sound like, these guys sound pretty similar. I've been a fan of these guys for ages. I've got this. This is their second demo, Twisted Brocus. No idea where the hell I got it from. This this version. Well, I'm not sure if it's an original or not. It's like in colour. Looks alright. The tape there does not look like what it looks like on Discogs, so no idea what version this is. I suspect the band maybe reissued this themselves. It's got the, photocopied a million bloody times crappy looking insert. But my one it's got like Transgressor songs, a couple of multiplex songs just for the hell of it. Other Transgressor demos on there, so no idea what version that is. I'm curious if anyone knows. I like the back bit just like sticky taped onto the case. At any rate, it's an old demo. They also did this killer album, Ether for Scapegoat, which came out on like Cyber Music. Good old Cyber. Back to the new one. This is the first thing they've recorded since they've rejoined again in 2019. Nasty, horrible, sludgy sounding death metal. Sounds good to me. Pretty much a follow-on of their sound, and as I said, bit Anatomia-ish, unsurprisingly. To tell the truth, I kind of like it a lot more when they slow down. The slow atmospheric bits sound bloody killer on this. Bit of sad news though, the bassist Aki just died recently, unfortunately. They just toured a bit of Europe, I think, and I'm not sure what he died of, but sad to see. So Takeshi's still there, and I think they've just redrafted Yoshio, who was their guitarist and vocalist for a long time as well. He's back on bass, so I'm assuming they'll continue on. I really couldn't tell you, but anyway, this is damn fine little EP. It's sort of like 5 songs, probably about 20 minutes long or something or other. So, but killer stuff. Very much looking forward to another album from these guys. Good old Japanese death doom. Up next is Eternal Rot with Moribund. This is brand spanking. Got this from the label Gods of War. It's a Polish label, I think. It also came out on CD on Memento Mori, I believe. So, this is the 3rd album from this band. They're very, very heavy sounding death doom sort of stuff from... they appear to all be from Poland, but I'm guessing some of them must live in the UK because that's where they're listed. Long, mostly pretty bloody slow songs with very deep vocals. I love it. Although it's weird, like it's death doom stuff, but strangely some of it sounds sort of like, I don't know, like doom bands like Electric Wizard or Cathedral, and Swollen Corpse Adoration has a riff that just sounds exactly like Church of Misery. So interesting combination, but to tell the truth, it kind of sounds like one long breakdown almost. It's just chunky, chugga sort of stuff. Honestly, it could probably do with a bit more variation, I've got to say. It does get a little samey after a while, and the songs are like 7+ minutes long, but when I first heard these guys on their split with Coffins, I think it was like, I like that sound, that's killer. So, does the trick. Nice gatefold with the band members in Turbo Negro shirts and stuff. And it does come vaguely fancy looking, marbly kind of vinyl. Looks pretty nice. So yeah, good heavy Death Doom stuff. That's your style, then yeah, I'd highly recommend checking out Eternal Rot. Up next is one I got from Svart Records in Finland while I was ordering some yet more Zizma, which will be in the next video. But yeah, this is Morbific with Ominous Seep of Putridity. Yeah, this is Finnish doom, death metal sort of stuff. Actually has a bit of a faster kind of death grind feel to it in parts, but yeah, I quite enjoy these guys. I was quite impressed by their Squirm Beyond the Mortal Realm album from last year, I think, so glad to pick up this one. For some reason I thought I already owned this, but I think it's just because the covers look pretty similar. Honestly, the sound on this is a bit average. Vocals are a little quiet for my liking, but I tell you what, it's a bit better sound, I think, than their the second album, Squirm Beyond the Mortal Realm, which is just this weird, dry sort of feeling. It's hard to describe. It has bass, but it's just not thumping sounding. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, this is just lots of killer mid-pace grooves. Yeah, Autopsy style, which is fine by me, and as you can see from the band photo, I'm very curious what this Autopsy shirt is. Looks like an Acts of the Unspeakable one based on the logo, but might be a time for a trip to the old T-shirt Slayer website to have a look, try and find that one. But yeah, this is also one of the guys is wearing an Impetigo shirt, which is probably a somewhat fitting comparison as well, but yeah, just killer, excellent death metal. Love these guys. Looking forward to more from them. Up next is Gut Void with Durance of Lightless Horizons. Yeah, I saw this on the Repressed Records from Sydney site and got intrigued by the cover art and the fact it was on Blood Harvest, so yeah, I was happy I checked it out. I had a listen and was pretty much sold straight away. This is kind of slowish death metal, maybe death doomy sort of stuff from Canada. They have pretty damn long songs that build up quite nicely. Yeah, it's kind of dreamy, death doomy sort of stuff. It's not really knock your head off, you know, heavy, screamy, nasty sort of stuff. I mean, it probably is if you're not into metal, but yeah, I just had a nice sort of feel to it, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's just an interesting. I can't quite put my finger on who they sound like. It's kind of like a mixture of Opeth and Crypts, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's just dreamy, you could say. They're obviously damn good musicians, and yeah, so it's not just slug it out Autopsy sort of style. Their EP, what is it, Astral Bestiary, is pretty bloody tasty as well. I might have to check that out or pick that up. It's got a slight Demolish sort of feel to it as well, and yeah, you get a nice gatefold with weird pictures and the band looking tough in the snow. Love the snow. And yeah, fancy looking record. So but yeah, I was just really kind of surprised. It was just interesting death metal, you could say. Just, I wouldn't say melodic, but yeah, well written. Also from Repressed, and also probably based on the cover art as well, as Dripping Decay with Festering Grotesqueries. This is a kind of a death grind band, you could say, from Portland. This has got like Maniac Neil from Frightmare and Blood Freak and a billion other Portland bands. This is one of his sort of newish bands. Yeah, it's got big Repulsion and Terrorizer sort of vibes, combined with that Portland, you know, kind of thrashy, death thrash sort of stuff. So, yeah, you probably know what it sounds like already, but yeah, just nice, short, punchy 2 to 3 minute songs, heaps of energy and tasty drums and friggin' killer artwork. I love it. But yeah, look at that art. That's just glorious. You know, it's pretty cool as well. It's kind of stylish and yeah, got a smiley on it. Impetigo style possibly, but yeah, I was very happy with this. Honestly, it didn't grab me on the first listen, but I gave it a few more goes and was like, yeah, I need this. I definitely need this. Yeah, just and I think, what is it, Watching You Rot is pretty Autopsy worship-ish as well, so it's always a winner in my books. Yeah, just great fun. Very enjoyable album. Up next is one from Discogs. This is Drawn and Quartered with Hail Infernal Darkness. These guys are from Seattle, I think, so yeah, just pretty intense, powerful, just pure death metal sort of stuff. I'd compare this one quite a bit with Immolation, I'd say. It's just got that, I know, it's got those squeals that they love. The vocals sound pretty much, well, interestingly, it doesn't sound like Ross on the other albums, but on this one, for some reason, it just sounds a bit more like Ross from Immo. And also they have a tendency to have that song ending that Immolation do, where there's like a slow riff with a long solo over the top of it. They do that a couple of times here, I think. So, but yeah, it's also got, a bit of your Morbid Angel and Angel Corpse sort of feel to it as well. And there's even, I think the last song has got slightly sort of Black Death sort of feel to it as well. But it's intense bloody stuff. I very much enjoy it, and I think the drumming from Dario Derner, who's been in like a million bands like Infesta and Evoken and Crom, he does a stellar job on this. It's very fast, but it's not. It's pretty dynamic. It changes quite a bit, which is really nice. But overall, just killer stuff. And thanks to Simon from Explosive Action for putting me onto this one. I think he knew it was one of the better albums and also not the easiest to find. So yeah. Cheers for the heads up, and congratulations on 5,000 subscribers. That's bloody impressive. You're well worth it, mate. But yeah, this album, this is now my second in my drawn and quartered collection. Been listening to quite a bit of them of late, and yeah, it's all pretty friggin' intense, but pretty enjoyable. As with the other album of theirs I do kind of like it when they slow down a bit, which they probably need to occasionally, a bit more often maybe, but I don't know, it just gives it a bit more dynamics, a bit more atmosphere, but yeah, overall, pretty bloody intense. Up next, a patch I got from Misako on Weirdo themselves, a record label from England that put out some bloody killer stuff. This is a brand new Undergang EP called De Siv Stadier Affardarv. I'm sure I got that completely wrong, something in Danish. Judging by the song titles, there's like Pala Mortis, Alga Mortis, Rigor Mortis, Liver Mortis. Assuming this is about, based on the cover art, assuming this is about the process of decomposition. I don't know. But at any rate, it's bloody killer. I'm a big fan of Undergang, and I really, really quite enjoy this one. I think this is probably the best thing they've done of late. I kind of prefer this to the Spectral Voice split 12-inch, and also probably the last Undergang album. This is just killer stuff. It's kind of good. They've added a bit of a sort of extra vocals to it, like David's deep stuff is still very effective, but get a sort of splattery sounding higher kind of stuff that works really well in conjunction. And the songs are quite varied. What is it? The third song, Live Loss. No, anyway, the third song. I did not speak Danish, so. But yeah, the third song is quite different, really. It's almost, I wouldn't say industrial, but it doesn't sound like normal Undergang, that's for bloody sure. Highlights for me on this are the second song, which I'm not going to try and pronounce, and the last song, Skeletal or Skeletisering. They just got like stonking heavy ass riffs in them and just awesome stuff. It's actually pretty short songs, most of them. There's one song that's 5 minutes, one that's, there's a couple that are about 3 minutes, and all the rest are like 2.5 or less. So yeah, good, quick, snappy sort of one with a good bit of variety on it. I like it. And yeah, Forad Nessel has got a killer chunky slow riff and some buzzing fly sound effects just for extra grossness. So yeah, as you'd imagine, nasty, horrible, sludgy death metal. You get a booklet in there, but you also get fancy pantsy, weird swirly vinyl. It doesn't like going back in very well. So yeah, and sorry, you also get a poster with the boys looking tough. Some nice decomposing body action on it. So yeah, this is pretty tame compared to some of the shit that's coming up, let me tell you. But yeah, this is killer EP. I'd highly recommend this one. Also from Misako on Ujo is Sedimentum with their 2019 demo, which has just been repressed by Misako themselves. I think the original version came out on the charmingly titled Fucking Kill Records. Love it. Yeah, this is Canadian thick sludgy death metal, kind of your Disma sort of style. Yeah, their album, whatever the hell it is in French, impressed me quite a bit, and I think it was in my top 20 albums from last year. It was bloody killer. So I think this one's almost better, actually, the demo. Slightly rawer sound. It's not quite as sludgy, and I like sludgy, but I don't know, there's just a bit more clarity on this. It's kind of nice. Heaps of like just steamroller grooves, especially the second song, Momifi Duns Lavars. I don't know. And yeah, it's got a really nice sort of snarling bass. Yeah, I'm just quite impressed with these guys. There's a nice back cover. And yeah, this comes with yet more ridiculously coloured spiffy vinyl. I'm a sucker for anything coloured, I must admit, as you may have guessed. If it says limited, I'll probably buy it because I'm a sucker. At any rate, this is very, very worthy having this one. Yeah, I was happy to get the album. I'm very much looking forward to more from these chaps. Yeah, nasty, sludgy death metal, just right up my alley. And lastly, from Masako is a brand new album of theirs by a newish Mexican band called Reverence to Paroxysm. This is their Lux Mort album, which just came out. This is super heavy death metal, I've got to say. Holy shit. I have a category where that I lump in bands sort of like, your Crypt of Kerberos, Funebarum, Moondark, Ripaculo, which this sounds a bit like. And of course, very early Grave and Bolt Thrower are the kings of that category. It's just super detuned, just rumbling stuff. Love it. It's definitely one of my favourite styles, and any band that plays it will at least get my attention. But this is just freaking killer, a bloody album. The main reason why I got this very rapidly was it's got Antimo from Disgorge. He's on bass and vocals on this, and it's also got his regular bandmate Led, who's also in Castlumbra and Hackowitz with him. So yeah, as soon as I saw it was Antimo doing like nasty slow death metal, I was like, yeah. Pretty sure I listened to like maybe 10 seconds of this and just went, oh yeah, buy, add to cart. No way, I'm not getting that. I've got to say, I'm not quite sure what's going on under the cover there. It's other than glossy as buggery. The gatefold has, I would have gone for this cover to tell the truth. You get lyrics and band looking tough. Yeah, I don't know. I just can't quite work out what's going on it, but oh well, either way. But yeah, on this the bass is pretty bloody loud, especially on the second song, Ad Putrefacto, or Ad Putrefacto. Yeah, this is just pretty damn slow, or pretty long songs, but just sort of varies quite a lot, and I very much enjoy it. It's just, honestly, it sounds like a 45 played on 33. It's just instant bulldozer winner is what I wrote in my notes, because yeah, as soon as I heard it, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. This one I'm fairly certain will be in my top 20 albums for the year, so yeah, definitely check this one out. This is my biggest recommendation out of this lot. Just killer heavy as hell death metal. Alright, now we get to the warning for the horrible album covers. All this is the fault of Sphere of Apparition Records that got all this stuff in. First up, as I said, I warned you, this is Disgorge with Chronic Corpora Infest. This is their first album. This is Mexican death metal legends, probably the greatest export from Mexico, I'd say. Yeah, this is their 1997 debut, which is just nasty. As you can see from that cover, it's yeah, these guys are like brutal death metal, but I don't know, for some reason they kind of get lumped in with goregrind as well, possibly due to the rather gross album cover and nasty sounding song titles that are medical sounding. But honestly, it's just very, very intense heavy death metal, and deep guttural vocals. Plus, one of the highlights for me is the vocals, the normal heavy ones, but also he does this weird, I don't know, purring, insecty kind of sound. It's really hard to describe. Any time I've heard anything similar is, what are they called? Cthelist from Canada. They have a not quite similar, but weird alien, just insect vocals. That's the best way of putting it. I kind of wish he used it a bit more on this, but yeah, it's pretty bloody effective when he uses it. But yeah, it's just powerful, nasty death metal. Let's just have a look at the back instead. It just changes up a heaps. There's like a lot of variety on here, and it's really smooth the way they do it. It's just very well written death metal, but unrelenting. It barely gives up at all. Yeah, this is, as I said, with Antimo on bass and vocals and their old drummer Guillermo, and production on this is pretty bloody good actually. And I never quite understand the album after this, Forensic, which is just, yeah, I'm not showing you the album cover of that. That is horrible. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, the second album has, yeah, it's a unique sound, you could say. It's just sludgy, horrible sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm really wondering if it's intentional, because it's just totally blown out. You can barely make anything out. So this album has good production. The third album onwards has great production as well, but for some reason, Forensic's just, yeah, sick. I'd say it was intentional, but who knows. But yeah, overall this is just scary sort of music, just not helped by the lyrics and the charming cover art. I also like, I'm not gonna, well, yeah, nice. Yeah, anyway, I do love on the liner notes it says, this album is a tribute to the one of the most insane and bizarre cannibal ever, to Jeffrey Dahmer, for being a musical and lyrical influence. Isn't that just charming? So yeah, if you haven't heard these guys, and you're not completely turned off by this cover art, definitely get this one. Get all their stuff really. And if you like bands like Viscera Infest, who just pretty much completely copy these guys, and you haven't heard these, bloody get onto it. That's killer stuff. Next up in the line of disgusting covers is Lymphatic Phlegm split with Flesh Grinder. Charming. This one, as well as the previous Disgorge one, came out on Morbid Classics, which is Morbid Records, I don't know, reissued label, sub-label, I'm guessing. Also got this from Sphere of Apparition. Cheers. This is two Brazilian goregrind bands, just their demos, essentially. I own heaps of Lymphatic Phlegm, but I've never actually heard this before, but yeah, it's their 1996 demo plus one extra song from 97, I think. Sounds pretty shit, actually. It's just very raw. It has like booming vocals, loud bass. What it's lacking is that weird slithery guitar sort of style that they have. It's just a little buried under this and the loud bass and the drum machine, really. Honestly, the 97 song sounds a bit better, but yeah, you got to start somewhere. This cover, as bad as it looks, nowhere near as bad as the original CD version, so don't look it up. And the 97 song has classic sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre sample on it that just never goes out of style. As I said, shows promise, but later they were way, way better, I gotta say. Flesh Grinder's band I didn't think I'd really heard until I discovered I got like 3 albums in my iTunes library, but oh well. Maybe I own something else, but at least I own this. Yeah, they're another sort of goregrind band. There's no drum machine on this. It's a normal band, I think. Pretty thin sound, but there's heaps of sort of, Bill Steer dive bomb solos that always a winner for me. Nice and fast, but yeah, nothing really amazing. This has got like the 4 songs from their Rotten Process demo and one off the album that they put out after that. So, honestly, yeah, I'd recommend checking out their other releases of both these bands before getting this, unless you're a diehard or you collect horrible album cover art. But yeah, it's nice to have, but oh well. And last but definitely not least is Torso Fuck with Postpartum Ecstasy. Charming stuff. This is Finnish, sort of, I don't know, brutal goregrind meets slam sort of stuff. It's kind of weird sort of style. There's a bit of that Mortician sort of feel to it, but a bit more gore-grindy than that. They do have that tendency of Mortician for very long samples. So first song starts with the sample of a man grunting, obviously, during sex, but it's a bit of worry when the song's called Necro Pervert. Anyway, but yeah, this is just over-the-top, ridiculous stuff. I have no idea what's going on in that cover either. I don't really want to know, to tell the truth. Probably get me banned on YouTube just showing it, but anyway. Yeah, this is nicely over-the-top drum programming. I like it when they just make it a little too fast. I think live they use a human drummer, but on this, no. It's balls to the wall. It's just put it on fast. Yeah, this is... They've had ups and downs, this band. They've sort of split up for a long periods and so on. So it's been 19 years since the last album, Erotic Diarrhea Fantasy, which I'm not showing you the cover of. Yeah, this sounds quite a bit better than that, and I'm definitely not showing you the cover of their split with Lymphatic Phlegm. That's yeah, it's a bit rough. I really don't want to know the origin of that photo. But yeah, this is just heavy as hell, nasty stuff, and highly offensive lyrics, and I'm not showing you the inside, that's for sure. Yeah, one thing I'll whinge about is the length of the samples. They do have that tendency that Mortician have of, like, 3 minutes of sample, 1 minute of song. But the song itself is well worth it, and there are some kind of amusing samples on this. I'm not whinging that much, really. It's yeah, if you like it just totally over the top gore grind, yeah, this is definitely the ticket. I was umming and ahhing about buying this, and then listened to it in full and just went, yeah, I think I need that. That's ridiculous. It's just over the top is the best way of describing it, but yeah, nasty killer stuff. Well, that's part 1 of my September collection update of all the death metal. You might be looking at my show going, hey, where's the new Incantation? Well, I don't actually own that one yet. I have listened to it a few times. Sounds pretty bloody killer, so I might have to pick that one up, although I just did an order from Relapse. It's putting out a lot of old stuff again of late, so I get tempted by a couple that came out on Friday, so yeah. That's enough money to spend with Relapse for the moment, but yeah. But yeah, there's a few other death metal albums out that I've got to check out a little further. Cannibal Corpse didn't really grab me, but I'll give it a few more listens. The cover art's kind of boring on that, but anyway. New Tomb Mold also didn't really grab me. It's a bit too cynic-y sounding for my liking. It's just an odd style, but it's one of those styles that I think I could, I didn't like Cynic when I first heard it, so I'll keep trying with the old Tomb Mold. Maybe one of those things where down the track I'll be like, oh god, this album bloody rules, why didn't you buy it, you idiot? So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, I had to record this video twice, unfortunately, which is why this is probably a little smoother than usual, because yeah, I managed to record it all just blurry as buggery. Good work. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, as I said, the next video coming up will be the non-death metal stuff, although some of it's pretty death metal-y really, but anyway. So yeah, I'll get that one out soon, and yeah, I've got another couple ones planned as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.